We got that Papa Pank. We got that Papa Pank. We got that Papa Pank. We got that Papa Pank.
Here we are.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Do we remember how to do it?
We are doing it.
Here we go.
We got that Papa Pank. We got that Papa Pank. We got that Papa Pank. We got that Papa Pank.
Greetings. Welcome to the PoppaPank podcast. I am Jaylene and Owens, and this is my friend and my co-host,
Justin, Jain.
There's a lot of gray in the world. We think it needs a little more pink. PoppaPank. We are Philly-based, multi-hyphenated, and award-winning actors for all things arts and culture, and we joyful with ever playful variety podcast. You are listening to our theme song composed by Jordan McCree, member of the band Papa Post and Nick. Please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcast. We appreciate y'all, and with that, we're gonna go ahead and get started.
Let's get it started in here. But let's get it started with an E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. We in Philly, we are doing this podcast and we are going to the Super Bowl. That's exciting. And Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year, dear Pank Papas. Happy New Year to you. Ooh, mama. Yes, we are here in 2023. It is also the year of the rabbit. Wait, what sign are you? What lunar zodiac are you, Jaylene?
Oh, child, I don't know. How do I find out?
I'm a rooster.
It's based on the year, right?
Year. So you look up 1973, and while you're doing that,
What is it called? What is it called?
Or the Chinese zodiac.
Okay.
Chinese zodiac in the year, and you'll get back to us. But we are here on episode 64, and what a journey it has been with Jaylene here. We have 64 episodes of shenanigans, games, arts and culture coverage, guests, and everything in between. I am so excited to see what this year holds for us on the podcast. I'm also excited for today's episode as we catch up, we look at the year ahead, and we talk about Kiss at the Wilma Theater, happening now through February 19th, featuring yours truly, plus a few other guests and friends of the podcast, namely Tasha Marie Canales, Anthony Martinez Briggs, Patricia Trellini Adams.
Now she's here, so you better get it right.
She's here, Mama Pat,
get it right,
aka Mama Pat, and several other fellow Hot House Company members. This piece has been a wild ride to create and will be an even bigger one for our audiences. So I thought it would be fun to do a feature in today's episode about the project as a whole. We'll of course be playing some games and look at some Pank news.
Yes. Let me shout out our Pank Papas in the comments. We missed you all so much. Paul says we got that PoppaPank 2023. Kiana says congrats Philly and Happy New Year PoppaPank. And Mama Pat said almost.
Patricia Trellini.
Listen, I'm out of it. You're gonna have to take that up with Mama Pat. Yes, Happy New Year to all of you Pank Papas. We definitely missed you. The last time we saw you, we were in the holiday spirit and we were talking with our special guest, Grace Ellis Solomon. If you missed it, make sure you go back and watch it or listen to it as a podcast. It was a great episode. And we even had a visit from Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Yes, you love that.
My favorite segment.
Yeah, you love it. You love it.
the year. Anyway, now here we are in 2023, and I am so excited for another year with all of you.
Well, I, for one, would like to raise a glass to this episode and toast to a wonderful new year. So let's pop some bottles, pop, pop, and pop some drinks with PoppaDrank.
Of that time. Get a glass so we can clank.
It's time for that. PoppaDrank.
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 PoppaDrank. And cheers. And cheers. Arriba, abajo, a centro, pa dentro. Jiggle masakada, mabuhay. Wello. So, Pank Papas, let us know in the chat. What are you drinking tonight and why? And if you're listening to us in your car or on the podcast, you just shout it out wherever you are, and we'll hear it across the miles and time. While you're doing that, Jaylene, what are you drinking tonight?
Okay, I am enjoying a new favorite tequila of mine. It is called Gran Coromino, which is the tequila by Kevin Hart. And this particular version is the añejo version. It is matured for over 1 year in American oak and French oak barrels, then blended with the añejo matured in ex-cognac casks, delivering a unique and silky smooth taste. Now, is giving butterscotch. So, that makes it very appealing to the J.Co. taste buds. And it is very smooth. No burn. I can sip on it just straight. So, you know what? Excuse me. Kevin Hart, because I know you're watching. Okay. You like to laugh. We like to laugh. Okay. You have a tequila. We like your tequila. Okay. You're from Philly. We live in Philly. So I just feel like the collaboration is there. I feel like, we should just have Gran Coromino sponsor the PoppaDrank segment of this show.
Yes.
So we will gladly drink Gran Coromino each and every episode.
Listen, I think this is the year somebody's going to go and say, you know what? We need 2 hosts for something. That's not a kids' TV show. And I'm really appreciative of that. But they're going to be like, well, you know what our brand needs? And then boom, we blow up from there.
Boom.
We put in all this work. And then they're going to be like, whoa, they have 64 episodes? Wow, they're really good. That's it. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Kevin Hart. We'll talk. Let's talk. Okay, Justin, what are you drinking tonight?
Do you think Kevin Hart enjoys Valentine's Day? Is he like, that's my day? I know it's HART.
Oh, because Hart.
Mm-hmm. I am enjoying a Manhattan, which is a drink I always enjoy during celebrations. And tonight I'm celebrating a new year. I'm about to celebrate another opening of a show. Mm-hmm. And this is Bullet Bourbon Manhattan. And I always prefer mine up. But I remember the first one I ever drank in my 20s.
What that mean?
No ice. So if you ice or up. And I had the first one of these when I was in my 20s, and I was like, oh, I feel like such an adult, and I haven't gone back ever since. Have you ever had a Manhattan?
I have had them. They're not my favorite typically, but I've had them.
Okay. Well, what are our Pank Papas enjoying out there?
It looks like Kiana is having Poppy, a Chilean red blend. Poppy, we need to look into Poppy because Poppy sounds like Poppa Pank.
Poppy Pank.
Poppy Pank. Come
All
on.
right.
And then Paul is having a little gin and juice.
Okay. Well, that is making me feel like that's good news for the gin and juice, which brings us to Pank News. So Pank News is our segment where we talk about anything we're vibing on this week in arts and culture. This could be anything from a theater show we've seen to pop culture events and visual arts. So what are you thinking about and talking about today, J.Co.?
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. I know.
You know what I'm talking about because
Yeah,
you know.
I know.
No.
I know you know. I know you know.
To go see Boo
Boom.
Fat
Fat
Ham on
Ham
Broadway.
on Broadway.
That's what I am talking about. Our lovely friend of the podcast, first ever guest on the podcast, Mr. James Owens, is going to Broadway with his play Fat Ham. That is the Pank news of the day, okay? And so they open for previews March 21st, and I am just so excited. My last trip to New York, I think it was like last week or 2 weekends ago, I was on 42nd and I looked and I saw the Fat Ham sign. I was like, oh, I gotta cross 42nd because you don't usually cross 42nd because it's too much people. But I was like, well, I got to go see Babu James up on the marquee, and it was so beautiful to see my friends work right literally on 42nd Street at the American Airlines Theater. I'm so proud of him and so excited. I can't wait to see it. So yes, listen, support the show, okay? Support the show. If you're in Philly, New York is only 2 hours away, less if you take the train. You can get your tickets at fathambroadway.com. We are just very excited.
We need you to turn out for this. Philadelphia, go show up. New York, go show up. Travel. If you're going to go see that big Broadway show, then tag this on, okay? Anything that can get this the much deserved success it needs is a win for Philadelphia. It's a win for James, our friend. It's a win for us. It's like it's all one big thing because it also was birthed at the Wilma, where Jaylene and I are company members, and maybe, just maybe, you might see this show in Philly, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know anything.
I don't know. Something else in the Pank news, Miss Angela Bassett is the first actor ever to win a major acting award for a role in a Marvel movie.
Yes!
Yes, Now, this is significant because up until this point, Marvel, like superhero movies, typically did not get a lot of recognition come awards season, specifically in the acting category. So Angela Bassett won a Golden Globe for her role as Queen Ramonda in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever in the category of supporting actress. And she is also the first actor from a superhero movie to be nominated for an Oscar. So I hope she gets it. This is huge. I'm very excited. And that's what I got for Pank News.
I'm so excited about that because I feel like those Marvel movies are all really good. Some of them are really good and they just get like put on a shelf. They're not like serious contenders. And now they are. So I've got a couple of tidbits. So I'm going to start with talking about The Appointment by Lightning Rod Special in New York City. And that's directed by Eva Steinmetz. That's through February 4th. So it's closing soon. Depends on when you're listening to this podcast. It's at WP Theater. And this is by a group called Lightning Rod Special. I already said that, but they are Philly based. And there are a lot of friends of the podcast and personal friends in the show, but namely who you've heard on the podcast, Brett Ashley Robinson is in this cast. And then all Philly stars that are in the show. So this has been getting so much buzz from all over. The New York Times has written about it, the New Yorker, Vulture Magazine, countless other media outlets, but they've gotten amazing reviews. And right now there's a lot of electricity around the show in the New York theater scene. A lot of other theaters are also promoting it. This show premiered in Philadelphia in 2019, and I saw that premiere, and I was so impressed and proud to know the company and the artists. So a little bit about the show. It is about the abortion debate, and it sort of showcases this like conveyor belt of images, moments, scenes. Sometimes they're wildly off the wall, and sometimes they are realer than realism. And it features everything from singing fetuses to Thanksgiving dinners and real time of what happens in an exam room or a waiting room. And I think this piece is getting a lot of buzz right now because it's about it's a post-Roe America, and that is all shining new light on the piece. And I think it's a very timely piece, and it doesn't quite settle on any end of the spectrum. It just complicates everything. It shows everything, and it allows you as the audience to sort of draw your own conclusions. But if you are New York, or if you're wanting to take a trip, I highly recommend going and checking it out. I love this company. I love what they do, and they are definitely in my Pank news today.
Yay.
Okay, I have a second Pank news, which is back to Oscars. We are back to Oscar, but Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, the movie. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once has Oscar nominations, 11 to be exact. It is including their principal actors, Michelle Yeoh and Ke Huy Quan, but it's up for Best Picture, Best Actress, 2 Best Supporting Actress nominations, Best Supporting Actor, Best Original Score, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best Costume Design, Best Film Editing. That is massive. They've also swept a whole bunch of other awards, but I personally love this piece so much. It is wildly imaginative. It is fantasy, sci-fi, all the best things. It is a million movies in one. You're going to see a million movies as you watch this. And I personally think it is one of the most, the truest Asian American stories I've ever seen on a screen, because it's not about that. It isn't about it. It just is.
Yes.
Sometimes when a show is like trying to be about a thing, they like completely are like, it's like cringing. But when it's just like people that look like me living their lives, I'm like, oh, now I feel seen by that. So Jaylene hasn't seen it yet, so I'm gonna drag Jaylene.
You don't have to drag me. I literally do want to see it. I remember you talking about it, and it just didn't happen. But I do want to see it. So you don't.
I will go with you. I will go with Jordan. I will go with anybody and everybody. Pank Papas, if you want to go see it, it is happening right now. If you're in Philadelphia, at the Ritz on Walnut Street. Is that the Ritz 5? I don't remember, but all of the movies Oscar nominated get re-released. So please, let's all make a road trip. But I'm so excited about all of those nods.
Yes. Well, clearly I know how much you love that movie, and it just makes me so tickled pink that this movie is getting the recognition that you clearly believe it deserves. So that brings us to our next segment, Tickles Pink.
Oh,
This is usually where we talk about something that has recently been bringing us joy and is a bit of a catch up for Justin and I. So Justin, what has you tickled Pank? What has had you tickled Pank since we last saw you before Christmas?
I know. I started a new semester at Fleischer Art of pottery throwing classes. I can now make these
pottery throwing.
Yes, that's when when you're on using clay at the wheel. That's called throwing.
Oh, you're not throwing the pottery after you make.
Sometimes, actually, tonight I was throwing pottery. I was throwing clay at a pot to see what would happen, and I kind of like it, but it might break in the kiln. But
you speaking another language? That's all right.
I've learned another language called pottery, and I've been doing that. So that's tickling me, Pank. Adam Woods and I celebrated 17 years this month. That was really fun, and then All Things Kiss is really giving me the most Pank tickles in all the places. I especially am loving working with Fadi Skyker, who is our director. I will tell you more about him later. And then our dear friends, Anthony Martinez Briggs, Tasha Marie Canales, Sarah Glico. See, I think she needs she needs a third name there after that run. We also have Stephen Richard in the cast, and an old friend of mine from New York, Lo Abdelmalik, is also on the show. So I will talk more about them later. But Jaylene, what has had you tickle Pank this past week?
Well, listen, I'm taking it back to since the last time we were here with my tickled Panks. So before the end of the year, Lawrence and I, my husband and I, we went on a little road trip to Roanoke, Virginia. And for a little getaway, and it was a great place to go. We had never been there. It was a chill, small town vibe. And because we went in between Christmas and New Year's, it was like you still got the holiday vibes. There were still Christmas
Mm.
trees and stuff up, but there wasn't a big crowd or anything. We had great food, great drinks, lots of breweries are in their downtown. Now their downtown is small, like you can walk. If you know, put
Yeah.
on those sneakers, you could probably walk the whole thing. But there are a lot of breweries like
Huh.
close to each other, so you could do your own little tour. We tried to do that. I thought we were gonna go to like 2-3 places. We went to 2. The second place, I literally took little sips. We got flights, and I was just so full that
Oh.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a great place. If you want to get like one beer, I would suggest one beer from each place, and that way you can like spread it out.
Were you doing that because you didn't want to fly? You had like a little bit of vacation time and you didn't want to fly, so you're looking for like places to drive?
Yes, exactly. We were gifted 100,000 hotel points by a friend. So we wanted to go somewhere and use those points. And that was able to get us 3 free nights. So we were like, okay, so
Okay.
now let's just drive somewhere. And that would be a nice little low cost
Okay.
trip. And it was
I
great.
am currently looking for those kinds of getaways from Philly that don't involve a flight or a train. So Roanoke, okay, I hear you. What else do you got?
Also, I am very tickles Pank because recently I did my first food commercial, and it was just amazing to see that live, to see what goes into making a food commercial. I saw my first food stylist. There were 2 of them on set, and there were so many of the things that we were eating. There were so many of them, but they had to assemble them one by one. And like yeah, there were, let's just say there were burgers involved. And man, oh man, I've never seen that before. They had the individual buns, and then they had to take and put the meat, and then they had to put the individually placing the little onions on the burgers. And then I saw them melting cheese with a
Steamer?
steamer. That was so cool. I was like, wow, look at this. And when you see food commercials, you're like, man, are these people really eating this stuff? And you can, but you have to do a lot of takes. So eventually you just like, you can eat it in the take, and then somebody comes, they have a trash can, you spit it out, and then you do it all over again. So it was just really cool. And that had me tickle pink.
Oh, well, all that melted cheese must have been really hot. You know what else is hot?
What?
Our hot topic.
Ooh, hot topic. What? Hot Topic is a part of our show where we highlight either myself or Justin as we bring to the episode something that we are passionate about in relation to the theme of that day. And since it is Justin that is about to open the Wilma's first show of 2023, we thought it would be fun to take a little deep dive into a preview of Guillermo Calderon. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Guillermo Calderon's Kiss, running now through February. Well, running tomorrow. Tomorrow through February 19th. So, Justin, I have a few questions for you, and then we can both talk about some of the other programming that is related to it. So, let's get into it. What is this about? Tell us a little bit about the show, please.
Okay. See, it's really hard to talk about the show because I don't want to give any spoilers like any show, but this one particularly has some things that can be spoiled. So what can I tell you about it that will entice you listener to come and know that you're going to have a good time? There's like big keywords here. There's the keyword of comedy. Okay. You're going to have comedy. You're going to laugh. Okay. I hope you're going to laugh. I have trouble not laughing on stage several times. I have yet to go through a full run where I'm not breaking, including yesterday's dress rehearsal when there was a whole bunch of people in the audience. And anytime you come to the show and you see my hands like this, it's because I'm laughing. With my hands over my face. So that's one of the big things. It does involve Syria as a container. And when I talk about Syria, we all have some kind of touchstone of what that could possibly mean. But I'm just going to leave it at that, Syria. Yeah. There is meta theatrical elements. So that means like, there's a play, and then maybe people know that there's a play, and then maybe it just keeps going from there, but meta theatrical.
Okay.
And I think at the end of the day, when the show is over, it is a political show. But I don't want you to come to the show thinking I'm going to see this heavy political thing. Come expecting this basic plot, which is 4 American actors have decided to put on a Syrian soap opera on the stage. And when I talk about Syrian soap operas, this is one of those dramaturgical things that you kind of do wish audiences had like a reference point for, because it's like these soap operas are wildly like animated and very intense and very dramatic, but they're not comedies. This is like, I think the closest thing we as Americans have are like telenovelas, is like sudden looks and sudden like screaming. So imagine come ready for that kind of party, and I think you'll just go down the rabbit hole with us.
Yes. Oh, down the rabbit hole. You just
That was my past show. That was my past show. That was my past show.
Well, that sounds really exciting, Justin. I particularly love the comedy stuff. So, I'm excited for you all to make me laugh. And if I can see you break on stage, it'll bring me great joy, because you are always trying to make someone else break on stage.
I am trying. Anthony Martinez-Briggs, Tasha Marie Canales, and Sarah Glico they are almost made out of a stone. They're just like, you can try everything, and they're just nothing.
Good.
Deadpan.
Good. Very good. Anyway, so what is your personal connection to this production? I know you had a big hand in making this happen, because you a shot caller. Like, you make moves, you make money moves. Okay,
be the change.
How did all of the pieces come together?
Yes. So I think this has been an exciting sort of evolution of how this piece came to be, because I read it when it first came out. It was featured in American Theater magazine back in 2015, 16, then-ish. But Hot House had just started forming. And when I read it, I was already immediately like, oh, this is for our company. It feels very Wilma. It's like pushing the boundaries of what theater is, of style, of genre, and it has a really important thing to say. And when I read it, I went to Blanca at the time and Walter, and they were like, yeah, we're interested. But at that point, there was already a lot of shows that were on the sort of back burner for the Wilma. So it sort of got shelved. And then when Morgan Green joined our cohort a few years ago, I went to her and I said, there's this play that I think would be perfect for the Hot House. And serendipitously, all at the same time, we had been doing this workshop with Fadi. And Jaylene, you were there. It was a workshop for a new James Imes play, which I'm still very excited about happening.
Wait.
That one was it's not written yet. I mean, it was just in a workshop mode.
Oh,
Were you there?
I don't know if I was there.
Oh, well, I remember being like, oh, Fadi is awesome. He was like, he got James's play. He was thinking outside the box. He's a left of center thinker, but he was also like really engaging in the room.
Okay.
And so I was like, here's this play that is loosely about Syria. Here's this Syrian director, Fadi, who has worked with refugees, who is like an activist. And those two things felt like a marriage. And then that this could be for the Hot House was also like really important to me. So I pitched it to Morgan. Morgan said, yeah, I think that's a good fit. And here we are. It's being produced. And I'm really excited about how that all has like tumbled together. And I'll talk about the process in a little bit, but I think it's just been so good, so healthy, and I can't wait to share it with audiences.
That's awesome, Justin. I'm proud of you, because you had a thought and you brought it to you made it come to fruition. So that's
the change. I know it's a change shortage right now still, but you got to be it.
Really? Okay. So tell me, why is this piece important to the current moment that we are in? A play that talks about Syria in 2014, that could seem like, audiences may think that that's dated. So can you talk a little bit about what conversations are happening in the room right now that makes this like relevant now?
So it's like so interesting to work on a play like this because it makes you as the performer, as the human being, really wrestle with these things in your own life. Like that's the best thing I can ask for the art that I make, is that it's actually changing something in me as a human being. So it's not like
Mm,
I just get to leave it at work. But you know, it's so interesting to look at a news cycle about a place, about a cause, about a thing, and then how quickly the media leaves it. Because when we think about Syria, when we think about Syrian refugees, when we think about all this, yeah, there's a little bit of our Western brain that's like, there's other things in the world, but that doesn't mean that has stopped. It's
mhm,
actually just as dire as it was then. Um, and it's having a Syrian director with us who works with these populations, who's continuing to work with refugees. It's like, oh my gosh, this is still in the world. This
yeah,
is everybody's moved on. We've moved on to Ukraine. Like that's what has the spotlight right now.
mm,
And that's one of many places. You could talk about Iran, Iraq. You can talk about Taiwan. You could talk about Ghana. You can talk about everywhere in the world where this
mhm,
is happening.
mhm,
But for whatever reason, we only think about one place at a time because we have that privilege to.
mhm,
And I think this piece makes you pause. It's going to say, pause for a second. Remember this. It's actually everywhere. It's happening everywhere, and it's
mm,
happening now. And it's interesting that you can zoom in and the specificity of Syria, but it can mean many different things for the listeners. People will inevitably think about other war-torn countries, other places where the government or regime is there where there's tension. And even in America, there's lines in the show that resonate about what it means to not have access, or to not uh, to not have, to be without, or what it means to be other. What's really exciting about what we've been talking about in the room is that it's the play is not about Syria. It's not about
mm.
war-torn countries. It's not about that's the container. It's actually about these four American actors and watching them go through something, watching them go through a change, and watching them awaken to something bigger than themselves. And
Okay.
hopefully in seeing that, the audience also goes on that journey. But again, I don't want to like make it too heavy-handed, because
Okay.
come expecting a fun Syrian soap opera.
Okay.
And I think the rest will just fall into place naturally.
Okay. All right. We gonna come. We right, Pank Papas. We gonna be there. I expect to see you there. Or let me know that you were there so we could support the show. Okay. So just a few more questions before we get into our shenanigans. So can you talk to me about the behind the scenes? What has it been like working with everyone, and how does it feel now that you're back on the Hot House stage? You're back home. What's going on behind the scenes? And are you engaging in shenanigans?
Oh, always. That never goes away. But I will say, you know, I am a longtime Hot House company member. I have loved all the shows I've worked on. I am so grateful to everything. But this actually has to be one of the most fun experiences I've had at the Wilma backstage. The
Really?
room is so, it's all of the Wilma values. And this is all comes from our director, Fatty. He is generous, he is caring, he is collaborative, he is rigorous, he is joy forward, he is all of these things. And I think it comes because his background is a social worker. He works
Hmm.
primarily with refugees. He's an activist. He's used to being in rooms with multiple people and making and carving space for everyone to be heard and be seen. And it's really important to him that that everyone has ownership of the art that they're making, and that we understand that what we're doing is a project. It's not a production. So this was kind of the first time I've ever thought about, yes, Mama Pat says this one is very special. Fadi is a magical human. And I couldn't agree more, Mama Pat. He talks about the piece as a project. And I had never really thought about shows in that way, that a show goes beyond that one night of performance. It's actually, he's thinking in a holistic sense. He's thinking about the audience coming. He's thinking about the populations he works with coming to the show. He's thinking about what the piece will do to an audience member a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, at the end of their lifetime. He's really curious about like how to engage everyone in the room thinking bigger than the show. And it's working. I'm thinking about these global issues, my involvement in them, my debilitation in like feeling stuck, what I can do, what I can't do. And it's been really magical working with him because there's been no tension in the room. It has been, the work is done when it's done. He is an embodiment of all the Wilma values. And I really think this man should work all over Philadelphia, all over America. And but that aside, it's just like all the people gathered are really special. And I've been working so intensely with Tasha, Anthony, and Sarah. And, that feels like very familiar. It feels like family. We joke a lot, but we can go deep into the work. And Mama Pat is there, and our ASM Chloe, our assistant director Zaina, and then all of the designers. Everybody in the room is just really generous, and it's been such a healthy and healing and joyful experience backstage, and hopefully that will show on stage. And what I've learned through this process is that you can have rigor, but it doesn't mean that you need stress. Sometimes rigor and stress go like this, but it's like, it feels like I'm going to the gym. Like I am being pushed to work really hard, but I don't have to take it personal, and I don't have to like feel bad about it or hurt or harmed. And if that even happens, like I know that I'm cool. Like I'm taken care of, and I can open up conversation. So it has been really good.
That's great. Like, I mean, that's a JJ proverb, but an actual serious one of, you can have rigor, but no stress. Like, and that is something you want in a good process, like a good theater process. I'm so happy to hear that it is a joy forward process and that you feel taken care of and just yes. Now, Pank Papas, if you all have any questions for Justin. If you don't have any questions for Justin, please drop them in the chat. I personally just have 2 more questions. And this question actually relates to both of us. We are both doing events that are around the show. So I would like you to talk about, the
let out. So I want to talk about the let out, and I want you to talk about the open mic. So we both have events. Can you first start talking about what the open mic is? And then maybe just based on what we've talked about, if there's a poem brewing or one that you're going to pull out of the archives for this.
We gonna see. Well, first of all, so the open mic, yes, is on Monday, February 13th, at 7 p.m. at the Wilma. And I do open mics based on whatever show we have going on the Wilma stage. So of course, right now it's Kiss. So we're going with the theme that we're going with is being heard. But it's open to interpretation, and we encourage people to do poems, artwork, or music inspired by the production. But even if you can't make it to the production and you still want to come to the open mic to perform or just listen, you are welcome to do that. Our feature is Rachel O'Hanlon Rodriguez. Now, if that name sounds familiar, Rachel was going to be the feature for, I believe it was, what was the name of the show? The first show we did.
Those with 2 clocks.
Those with 2 clocks, yes. I believe that was the one. Yes, Rachel was supposed to be the feature, but unfortunately she had COVID, so she had to drop out, but she's back. She's going to be here for this one, so I really encourage you all to come to the open mic. It's going to be really exciting. Now, what are you doing? What is the let out?
Okay, I want to talk about the let out at the Wilma, which is a new program where one of the Hot House Company members interviews somebody from the team surrounding one of the shows. And it's just like an informal interview where it gives audiences a deeper dive into the behind the scenes stuff. Not dissimilar from this, but also maybe it depends on the flow and the conversation and the questions. But the Let Out at the Wilma on Sunday, February 5th, that follows the 2 p.m. show. And lucky for you, this is a 95-minute show. You are in and out. That is a whole act. Just one act and done. So then you grab your coffee and come back to the theater. So around 3:30, 3:45, we'll be doing this. And this is always going to be with one Hot House company member. But for the first time, it's a company member in the show, myself, interviewing our director, Fatty Skyker. And I think our projection designer, Larry, will also be there. And I will just be asking them about the show, but I really highly suggest you come see this just so you can share space with this amazing man, Fatty, who is really a left of center thinker, a wild energy, and a scholar, an artist, an activist, and really the first Syrian to direct this show in its production history. So there's something very unique about that as well. He's been getting a lot of write-ups in the Philadelphia Inquirer, other news outlets. So you don't want to miss this one. I'm excited to ask him some questions. I'm nervous the audience will think the show is still happening, but that is okay. And you'll find out why.
Okay.
I know. Let's keep it a secret.
Okay. All right. My last question is, what do you think audiences will walk away from feeling and thinking about after they see Kiss? Why should our listeners come see this piece, Justin?
Okay. I think there was an interview with Fatty where he said, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll have a good time, and hopefully you'll think about something. And that's the best that I can say too, is like, I think you will be entertained. I think something you may not get something, but that's also part of it. That's part of the thing that the piece is saying. And hopefully it makes you just think outside your own personal bubble. If we're lucky, hopefully it will inspire you for change or to do something bigger in your life, or to make you pause when you hear something in the news or you think about something. And I know that the Wilma will be doing some ancillary programming or outreach in like how to continue the conversation, what else you can do after you see this piece, because hopefully you leave it as energized as I feel it at the end.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
You know, that just brings us to Pank Forecast.
Yes. Okay. We are rounding the corner here. Our Pank Forecast is usually where we talk about something we're looking forward to. But since it is the beginning of a new year and our first episode of this year, we want to share 3 things we are looking forward to in 2023. What are you looking forward to, Jaylene?
I'm looking forward to more poetry writing because I made that a goal of mine and I'm going to do it. I've already written 2 poems for the new year, so we're just going to keep that going. 2, I'm looking forward to the premiere of Albie's Elevator, where you can catch me and Justin on your TV screens. I'm so excited about that. I can't wait. It should be in the latter part of the year. I'm so excited. We're going to be series regulars on a TV show.
Okay. We should have watch parties. 30 watch parties.
Yes.
There are 30 episodes, 28 episodes.
Is there really?
Yeah. And they're half episodes.
They play 2 in 1.
They play 2 in 1. But yeah, we don't know which ones Jaylene and I will be in, so we got to watch them all.
That's right. I can't wait. And then 3, I'm excited for more on-screen work. Now, I don't know where that work is going to come from yet, because, these things happen at the last minute. But I'm praying and believing, okay, that more on-screen work is going to come to me. And I am looking forward to that. So, boom. Justin, what are you looking forward to in 2023?
Manifest, girl. I am so excited about, I have a couple more shows coming up, but the one that is most immediate is 1812 Productions, The Play That Goes Wrong. I'm very excited. Think high comedy, high farce, things falling on people tripping, and stuff like that.
That's up your alley.
Just totally escape into the comedy of theater. That is one thing I'm looking forward to. Two, I am going back to Florida for a Florida trip. I want to go back to Disney with my family.
Oh.
And then three, later this year, hopefully I go into pre-production for an to be determined potential directing gig at potentially the Wilma. I'm not saying anything official here. This is all off the record, even though it's recorded and you're listening to it in your ears. But maybe something big is happening on the other end of this year. So while we are forecasting, let's also check in about anything we have coming up in the next few weeks. So Jaylene, what do you want to plug again?
Again, open mic at the Wilma, Monday, February 13th at 7 p.m. You can go to wilmatheater.org/open-mic for more information. You can RSVP whether you come to listen or share. I hope to see you there. And then also I'm doing a show called Multitudes, and it is a collaboration between the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts, aka PAFA, and World Cafe Live. And so there is an exhibit going on at PAFA called Making American Artists, and it is a focus on American stories and what it is to be an American and identity, but they're making sure they highlight people of color, LGBTQIA plus folk, indigenous artists, like it's all up in there. And so they commissioned 5 musicians and 3 poets, I believe, to make pieces inspired by the exhibit. So
Yes.
I have my 2 poems, and I must admit, I feel like they fire or whatever like that. I'm really excited about it. I love this, like, not multidimensional. That's not the word, but this like immersive.
Interdisciplinary. Yeah.
Multidisciplinary. That's the word. I love that. You get to come see the exhibit. If you go to the performance at PAFA, you can see the exhibit before the show at 7, and then come to the show at 8 and see what these artists have created. There are 4 performances. Child, don't get me to line about the other 2, but I know the ones I'm performing in are February 16th at World Cafe Live, and then March 18th at PAFA. And March 18th, that's my birthday weekend. Okay, so just come and turn up. Tickets and everything. I'm gonna put it on my website, and you can just go ahead there to check out the information, because there's different websites. You got to go to PAFA or go to World Cafe Live. But if you just search Multitudes, okay, you will find more information. So
yes.
That's what's coming up for me. What's coming up for you?
I am so all about that. If I am here, I am definitely going to that in the March 18th, but I have a show on the other one. Okay, yes, you flashed it there. We are just talking about all things Kiss at the Wilma Theater now through February 19th. Go to www.wilmatheater, that's re.org. Find more information there. Please get your tickets. Please see this. I think it's such an important piece, and it's a return of the Hot House at the Wilma stage. And it is just hopefully our joy off stage will shine through on the stage. And even if it doesn't, I don't care, because I'm having a great time.
And that's that on that. Well, here we are at the shenanigans. We got to do it. So what game do we have first? It is alphabet game. ABC.
Because Philly is in the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles are going. Let's go ahead and do a Super Bowl themed alphabet game.
Okay.
So we go A through Z, back and forth as quick as we can, and why we chose that thing. So Jaylene, start with A, Super Bowl theme.
Oh gosh, A is for hey, which is what you'll say when the Eagles score.
Yep. B is for ball, because there's a football.
Yes. C is for cookies, because you want to have a little something sweet at your Super Bowl party.
Mm-hmm. D is for dip, because you got to get that good chip dip.
And E is for Eagles.
Oh, F is for football, because that's what we're playing.
G is for game, because we're watching a game.
H is for a halftime show featuring
Rihanna.
Wait, who?
Rihanna. That's how she says her name.
What?
We don't say Rihanna, but she be saying Rihanna.
My mind just got blown.
So I like Rihanna. Child, what?
Halftime show. I is you.
I is for ice. You want to make sure your drinks are cold, okay, while you're at your Super Bowl party.
Yes. J is for justice. Justice. You want the game to be fair and square.
Yes.
And everybody to be able to stand for what they stand for.
That's good. K is for kick, because you better kick that field goal or kick that extra point.
K, HIJK. L, linebacker. They're on the field.
M is for men, because there's going to be a lot of men of all shapes and sizes playing the football.
Got to catch them all. LMN is for Nick. Nick.
Yes, Nick Sirianni.
Yep.
There you go.
I blanked on Sirianni totally. I was like, Nick something. Okay.
O is for overtime, which, do I want overtime? It makes it more exciting, but I only want overtime if the Eagles are definitely going to win in said overtime. So we'll see.
Okay, good. P is for plenty of cheer, plenty of fans, plenty of cheering, plenty. It's just a time for a lot.
Yes. Q is for is for
you got it.
quiet, because that's what we're gonna be whenever the Eagles are about to make a play. We're gonna just be quiet and giving them our focus, because they gotta focus. That's what the quiet is for.
Quiet focus.
Yeah.
R is for Rihanna or Rihanna or Rahayana. Whatever you call her, she's gonna do a good show.
Man, Q would have been for quarterback. That is absolutely right, Mama Pat. That was right there. How did I not get that one? Wow. Okay. You just did R?
Rihanna, URS.
RS. S is for score.
And that's just like T, which is touchdown.
And then U is for up, because you want to throw the ball up and out, and then somebody needs to catch it and run into the end zone.
Yes. V is for victory. 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 Let's go, Eagles.
Yes. W. That's the next letter, right?
You're a VW. Yep.
W is for the win, because Eagles are gonna take the win.
X is for X. Okay, xylophone. I see you in the crowd. I see you with the rest of the band. Does NFL still have like marching bands? I don't know, but there's gonna be some marching band somewhere in America at the time of the Super Bowl where somebody's playing the xylophone.
Yes. And Z is for
XY.
Oh shoot. Y is for
Yep. Find it.
Yes, because that's what I'm gonna scream when the Eagles win.
Yes, and Z is for zest. We use zest all the time.
Yeah,
but it's a zesty occasion. The Super Bowl.
Absolutely, we did it.
Jaylene, we have 5 more minutes left in this episode. Should we do a smush?
We have to do at least 1 or 2.
Okay, give me one. So everybody, smush. You know how to play this. If you don't, you'll catch on.
You'll catch on, and of course,
3 clues. 3 clues, 1 answer. Each one goes into an answer. I have one. You want it?
I mean, yes. Okay, go.
Okay, R. Kelly song that was featured in Space Jam. Is it Space Jam?
But I know what
I
song.
know. And then the second one is our fight song. Okay. And then the last one is In Living Color. The dancers on In Living Color featuring Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, you done took my little
I
clue.
took yours.
Okay.
What do you have?
I Believe I Can Fly, Eagles Fly Girl. Oh, shoot. I mean, should I do
Okay, no, you got to skip that one then. You got to skip that one.
Okay.
How close was it? Yours was Fly Eagles Fly Girl? And something else?
Yes, the end was the same. Only the first clue was different.
Amazing.
That's crazy. Okay, stay with me now. All right, Pink Papa's help him out if he needs it. So the first part is the 3-name version of what we call Santa, who the Eagles fans threw snowballs at. The 3-name version of him. Blank, blank, blank. The name for Santa. Okay. You'll probably get it when I say the second clue. The second clue is the coach of the Eagles, who we were just talking.
We just said it.
Okay. And the third is a surgery that older people typically get because of the joint pain they feel in the middle hinge part of their
Old Saint Nick Sirianni replacement. That's a good one. That was a good one. All right, we are banging these out. Okay, the first one is in New Orleans. There's this area during Mardi Gras that is like it's like Bourbon Street is there. It's like maybe you'll get it as we go through the next one. Okay. There's a one area in that place, and people that speak a different language, you know, they're there. It's like the main language. It's like Creole is a part of that language. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
There's a specific place. The second one is one of the most important players who throws the ball, makes all the shots, is in charge of passing it. They're the one. Yeah. And then the last one is a song by Juvenile that also featured, was Nelly on that? I don't know, but it's like it's a nasty dance song where you want to grind on somebody or come closer. It's like a song that's saying come closer, but not as nice. It's like, but come closer, but not facing me.
Okay. Pank Papas, I'm lost because I'm lost on all fronts. I ain't got the first part. I thought I had the second part, but
yeah. Who passes? The person who passes everything.
Quarterback, right?
Well, don't say it yet. Oh. Mama Pat, let's do the G-rated one.
Okay. Yep.
French Quarter, back that thing up.
That is good. I'm thinking Jalen Hurts. That's why I wasn't thinking about.
I know.
I was thinking about the name.
I could have clarified.
And back that thing up. That's not the same. What's happening? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Come on, Pank Papas, hang with us. One more.
We're still close.
Okay. This one should be easy. First thing. Former president who was assassinated while at the theater. Second clue. The place where the Eagles play.
Good.
3. The thing you kick when you're too far to get a touchdown and you rather go for the 3.
Abraham Lincoln field goal.
Lincoln
Field?
What's in between fields? You don't know the full name of the arena?
Lincoln Financial Field Goal?
There you go. Abraham Lincoln
Financial Field Goal. Yep. Oh, Mama Pat got that too. All right. Y'all, this is the last one. Okay. This
I ain't got no more after this.
I know, this is the last one. Rihanna is doing this. The second one is from Jerry Maguire. It's a famous phrase that Tom Cruise screams in the phone. And the last one is a term. You know this. You know that second one. It's a close up. He's like, mama. Or is he on the phone or is he just yelling it?
Pank Papa's gonna get this.
Okay. The last one is a term for when you take funds that you may have gotten like in bad ways, like through drugs or killing someone, and then you like put that, you clean them into like saying, I got this money from selling houses. It's illegal. It's a thing called, it's illegal. It's also something you do every day with your clothes when they're dirty. But okay.
Ooh, Pank Papas, what is
First
it?
one.
Oh.
Yeah, Mama Pat is so good at that. Halftime, show me the money laundering.
Wow. I didn't have that at all. I was lost on every single clue.
Well, you know what you will have?
What?
Is our next episode.
Maybe. Our next episode is sometime in February, Pank Papas, we know. But at this point, going into year 3, you know us by now. And now that we are back in the world and doing the things we don't know what our schedules are, but we will be back sometime in February.
You have the 2 most busiest people on the planet.
Busier than Beyonce,
Busy bee.
Busy bee. Okay. So, real quick, freestyle. What is your clue?
Okay, great.
The theme is the Eagles, of course.
Okay, we got to make this fast.
Go.
Fly, Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Don't let me down. Don't say bye-bye. You win that game. You win it good, because if you are coming back, then you're in my hood.
Ooh, yes.
I'm in South Philly. That's why. Okay, so for you then, it's about a kiss. Just anything about a kiss.
Kiss. Make sure you go to the Wilma and go see Kiss. It is definitely a show that you don't want to miss. It's got comedy. It's got politics. It'll make you think. And I'm filled to the brink. Thank you.
Yes. Look at that. When we do it when we're faster than we're ready, we got it.
What's the proverb about your proverb about the Super Bowl?
Oh, I don't know sayings, so I'm just gonna make one up. It's like, if you pass it hard, it will stay hard.
And on that note, we ask your donations to help the podcast afloat. We're going to go now. We love you all. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Papa